Good morning, everyone. We are really thrilled that all of you joined us here at the JCC. What a great place to greet the Senator on this important day dealing with healthcare. Here we have a community facility that is open to absolutely everyone. We have programming for little kids, preschool. We go all the way through seniors. We have between 2,000 and 3,000 participants a day that come through here. We have a health club, swimming pool, tennis courts. This is truly a facility for everyone. And today, to have the Senator here is a wonderful, wonderful honor. I want you to know, Senator, fate has a funny way to do it. I know that in 2006, you were at the University of Oklahoma and received an honorary doctorate. At the same time, Kathy Newstedt's father received it. She's the chairman of the board of the JCC, and she's here today. Kathy, where are you? Just to toss in a plug, Senator, I'm also from Oklahoma, so it was good to have you in a good state. Ladies and gentlemen, the next President of the United States, Senator McCain.
Thank you, Larry. Thank you for being here. How are you? Thank you all very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for that warm welcome. It's great to be here at the JCC. And Larry, I don't mean to overhype the Oklahoma connection, but my mother was born in Muskogee, Oklahoma, and she just celebrated her 97th birthday. So a couple of Christmases ago, she wanted to drive around France, so she flew to Paris and tried to rent a car, and they said she was too old, so she bought one and drove around France. So Kathy, thank you, and yes, I was honored to speak at the University of Oklahoma, and their great president, David Boren, former member of the United States Senate, and I did receive an honorary doctorate, and purposes of full disclosure, could I mention that I'm the guy that stood 5th from the bottom of his class at the Naval Academy, so if my old Marine Corps Captain Company officer had been around, he'd have said, in America, anything is possible. So thank you, and first of all, I would like to say thank you for being here this morning, and of course, coming from the great state of Arizona, I have to all begin by saying thank you for the water, thank you for the water, thank you for the water, thank you, we're very grateful, we appreciate the water. Landed yesterday afternoon and it was snowing, a lot of people don't like that, I love it, it's all going down. We've had a lot of problems with water in Arizona. As you know, California has stolen Arizona's share of the water, as you probably know. And in fact, Barry Goldwater used to say, we had so little water in Arizona, the trees chased the dogs. So very pleased and grateful. I'm also grateful to have the opportunity. By the way, I was over in California doing an event with Governor Schwarzenegger. He and I have many similar attributes, as you can obviously tell. And I saw protesters out here this morning, and there may be some protesters here, but I just want to say, and that's a right that I cherish and privilege for people to disagree with their government and their policies. I just hope that they don't choose to interfere with other people's right to free speech, to ask questions and make comments. But let me just say, I was there with Governor Schwarzenegger. I walked by this great big guy with a sign standing there, and he looked down at me and he said, "Hey, anybody ever tell you look a lot like Senator John McCain?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Doesn't it just make you mad as heck?" So I'm certainly grateful for your welcome this morning. Let me say, we want to discuss health care, but we want to have a town hall meeting also. We will not restrict our conversation to health care, although that's the topic If you have something on your mind or something that you feel that you'd like to tell me about, as well as me respond to you, because the purpose of town hall meetings is not only for you to hear from me, but for me to hear you. I had 101 town hall meetings in the state of New Hampshire before that primary. And I learned more, my friends, than they learned from me. Because this is what America should be about. Participatory democracy where we can respectfully disagree, where we can share our views and our hopes and our dreams and our aspirations for the future of this country. And so I'm very grateful you're here, and I'm glad to have the opportunity to be with you. And I won't talk too long this morning, except that I would like to recognize a wonderful organization composed of volunteers, sponsored by the AARP. The organization is called Divided We Fail. You have been kind enough to appear at literally every town hall meeting that I've had in this nation. I appreciate your commitment, not only to members of the AARP and senior citizens around America, but to the health care of all Americans, young and old. Would you all stand and we can thank you for your participation. And I've learned a lot from you, and I've learned a lot, and I hope you've learned from me my views and my hopes for America's future as far as health care is concerned. And let me begin our dialogue very quickly this morning. Before I do, I have to mention one other group. How are you? Nice to see you. I'm sorry I didn't.
No, it's okay.
I've also been honored in all these town hall meetings to have the presence of a group of young Americans who have joined in a volunteer organization to serve this nation and its causes, and the cause of eradication of poverty, malaria, HIV/AIDS throughout the world. They were inspired by Bono, and there's now 2.2 million members, and I'd like to ask our members of one who are here, the shirts here, would you all stand? Thank you for your Before you sit down, how many volunteers are there in America and in the state of Colorado?
In America, we have 2.4 million members.
2.4 million.
And in Colorado, we have over 33,000.
Thank you very much. What America is all about, and if you want to give us a little more information when we get into our discussion, I'd be more than happy to hear from you. Could I just begin our conversation by stating the obvious? Americans are hurting today. The latest jobs report, although not maybe as bad as some had predicted, is still bad. Unemployment continues up. Americans are suddenly and recently losing their jobs. Many of them are worrying about how they're going to keep their home, how they're going to afford health care, how they're going to keep their insurance. And Americans are going through tough times now, my friends. And I don't think we can sugarcoat it. I think that these are enormous challenges, and they affect every level of American society, and especially those working men and women, many of whom are holding 2 jobs and trying to educate their children and keep their home. This morning and this evening, families will be sitting around the kitchen table trying to figure out how they can afford their new home loan mortgage payments, and they are also trying to figure out how to keep their health care, help to keep their insurance, and keep their job. So these are tough times in America. And I have a plan of action to fix our economy, to make sure that Americans remain in their home, and also to realize the American dream, to be able to educate their children and hand off to the next generation of Americans a better America than the one that we inherited. That's been the legacy of every generation of Americans. And so today we want to talk about health care, but I'd be glad to talk about all the other issues. Before I do, I just want to talk to you about a modest proposal that I had a couple of weeks ago, which seems to have created a firestorm, particularly among the special interests that ride around in chauffeured limousines inside the Beltway in Washington. And that is a suspension, a holiday between Memorial Day and Labor Day for Americans to not have to pay the 18.5 cents a gallon gas tax the next time they go to the gasoline station. They'll fill them to get their tank filled up.